country that changed its flag because of a Facebook comment, a flag that was designed by a 15-year-old kid for a school project, and a nation that accidentally flew the wrong flag for over 50 years without realizing it. Flags aren't just colorful pieces of cloth. They're symbols of identity, pride, and history. But some of them, they've got stories so weird, so unexpected, that you won't believe they're real. Let's dive into the most bizarre flag stories on the planet. Nepal, the only non-rectangular flag. Let's start with the flag that breaks all the rules, Nepal's flag. Every other country on Earth has a rectangular flag, but not Nepal. Their flag is shaped like two stacked triangles, like someone glued two pennants together and called it a day. So why the weird shape? It actually goes back centuries. The two triangles represent the Himalayan mountains and Nepal's two major religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. The crimson red symbolizes bravery, and the blue border stands for peace. The moon and sun? They're meant to say that Nepal will last as long as those celestial bodies exist in the sky. Pretty poetic, right? But here's the kicker. Nepal's constitution legally defines the flag's exact proportions using a wild 24-step mathematical formula involving angles, curves, and trigonometry. It's the only flag in the world with geometric instructions written into law. Even stranger? When Nepal joined the United Nations, they had to special order a custom flagpole because their flag didn't fit the standard rectangular ones. It's the ultimate, we do things our way. Energy. And honestly, respect. Mozambique, the only flag, with an AK-47. Now let's talk about Mozambique, because their flag has something no other flag in the world does. An AK-47 assault rifle. Yep, right there in the center. A Kalashnikov rifle, crossed with a hoe, laid over an open book, all surrounded by a gear and a star. It's like they took every symbol they could think of and just crammed them in. The rifle represents defense and vigilance. The hoe? Agriculture. The book? Education. The gear? Industry. It's all meant to symbolize the country's journey from colonial rule to independence after a brutal liberation war in 1975. But here's where it gets controversial. A lot of Mozambicans don't like having a gun on their flag. In 2005, the government held a competition to redesign it. They got over 100 submissions. None of them made the cut. Why? Because changing a flag is politically messy. Veterans of the Independence War see the rifle as a badge of honor. Younger generations? Not so much. So the AK-47 stays. And Mozambique remains the only country in the world with a modern firearm on its national flag. Bold? Absolutely. Weird? Also yes. Libya, 1977-2011, the all-green flag. Okay, this one's wild. From 1977 to 2011, Libya had the simplest flag in human history. No symbols, no emblems, no stars, stripes, or patterns. Just solid green. That's it. Under Muammar Gaddafi's rule, Libya adopted an all-green flag to represent his political ideology and Islam's association with the color green. It was meant to symbolize the Green Revolution and his vision of a unified Arab and African identity. But here's the thing, it was so boring that it became iconic. Vexillologists, that's flag experts, were baffled. How do you make a flag with zero design elements? And yet it worked. For 34 years, Libya's flag was instantly recognizable because it was blank. The crazy part? When the Libyan civil war broke out in 2011 and Gaddafi was overthrown, one of the first things the rebels did was bring back the old flag from before Gaddafi's era. A red, black, and green tricolor with a white crescent and star. It was like hitting undo on decades of history. Today, the all-green flag is gone. But it remains one of the strangest design choices any country has ever made. Sometimes, less really is, well, just less. Denmark, the flag that fell from the sky. Let's head to Scandinavia for a flag legend that sounds like it came straight out of a fantasy novel. Denmark's flag, the Dannebrog, is the oldest continuously used national flag in the world. It's been around since 1219, but the story of how it came to be? Pure myth. And Danes love it. According to legend, during the Battle of Lindesnes in Estonia, Danish forces were losing badly. King Valdemar II prayed to God for help. Suddenly, a red flag with a white cross fell from the heavens. The Danes rallied, turned the battle around, and won. The flag became a divine symbol of victory. Did this actually happen? Probably not. Historians think the flag was likely inspired by Crusader banners or earlier Christian symbols. But Denmark doesn't care. The legend stuck. And the Dannebrog became a sacred national icon. Here's the fun part. Danes are obsessed with their flag. They fly it on birthdays, holidays, and even to mark where they're sitting at the beach. It's on birthday cakes, Christmas trees, and even used to wrap presents. No other country uses their flag this casually. But don't you dare disrespect it. There are strict rules about how to display and dispose of the Dannebrog. If it touches the ground, it must be burned in a respectful ceremony. It's a flag that fell from the sky, and Danes treat it like it never stopped being holy. United States, designed by a 17-year-old for a school project. You've seen the American flag a million times. 50 stars, 13 stripes. Iconic. But did you know the current design was created by a high school student, and he originally got a B- on it? Meet Robert G. Heft. In 1958, he was a 17-year-old junior in Ohio. For a school project, he decided to redesign the American flag to include 50 stars, anticipating that Alaska and Hawaii would soon become states. His teacher, not impressed, gave him a B-. The design was too busy, apparently. But Robert didn't give up. He sent his design to the White House. And in 1959, when Alaska and Hawaii officially joined the Union, President Eisenhower chose Robert's design out of over 1,500 submissions. The kicker? His teacher changed his grade to an A. Robert's flag has been the official U.S. flag since July 4, 1960, longer than any other version in American history. He went on to become a teacher himself and spent decades giving talks about his flag. He even joked that his B- was the best grade he ever got. It's proof that sometimes even teachers get it wrong. And sometimes a high school project becomes a symbol of an entire nation. Mauritania changed because of a Facebook debate. Flags don't change often. It's a huge political process. But in 2017, Mauritania changed theirs because of, wait for it, a Facebook debate. The old flag was simple. Green background with a yellow crescent and star. That's it. But in 2017, after years of online discussions and public pressure on social media, the government decided to add 2 red stripes, one on the top, one on the bottom. Why red? It represents the blood of those who fought for independence from France in 1960. Some people argued the original flag didn't honor that sacrifice enough. The debate went viral on Facebook and other platforms, and eventually the government caved. But here's the twist. Not everyone was happy. Critics said the red stripes clashed with the green and made the flag look off balance. Others thought it was unnecessary political pandering. Still, the change went through. And now, Mauritania's flag is one of the few that was redesigned in the social media age, proof that even ancient national symbols aren't immune to the internet's influence. It's also a reminder that flags aren't static. They evolve, they change. And sometimes, all it takes is a viral post to rewrite history. New Zealand versus Australia, the endless identity crisis. Let's talk about one of the most awkward flag situations in the world, New Zealand and Australia. Their flags look almost identical. Both have the British Union Jack in the corner. Both have stars from the Southern Cross constellation. The only real difference? Australia's flag has 6 stars, including a big one under the Union Jack. New Zealand's has 4 red stars with white borders. For years, people mixed them up. Athletes at international competitions accidentally stood under the wrong flag. Travelers got confused. It became a joke. And New Zealanders, they were not happy. In 2015, New Zealand held a $26 million referendum to decide whether to change their flag. They narrowed it down to 5 designs, including a silver fern on black and blue, a design that became wildly popular. But when it came time to vote, New Zealanders chose to keep the old flag. Why? Tradition, nostalgia, and a bit of stubbornness. The whole thing became a national drama. Some people thought the new designs were ugly, others thought changing the flag was erasing history. And the Prime Minister who pushed for the change, his approval ratings tanked. So New Zealand's flag stayed the same. And the confusion with Australia's flag, still going strong. It's one of the most expensive non-changes in flag history. Switzerland, perfectly square and copyrighted. Switzerland's flag is perfectly square. It's one of only 2 square flags in the world. The other is Vatican City. But here's what makes it truly weird. Switzerland has copyrighted its flag. Yep. You can't just slap a Swiss cross on any product and call it Swiss. The government strictly regulates who can use the flag for commercial purposes. It's part of their Swissness branding laws, designed to protect Swiss-made products from knockoffs. The white cross on a red background dates back to the 14th century, when Swiss soldiers wore it to identify themselves in battle. It's simple, bold, and iconic. But the square shape? That's mostly tradition. When Switzerland officially adopted the flag in 1889, they decided to keep it square to honor the old military banners. It's different, it's memorable, and it's very, very Swiss. Even weirder? At sea, Switzerland uses a rectangular version of the flag because international maritime law requires it. So technically, Switzerland has 2 flags, one for land, one for water. And yes, Switzerland is landlocked, but they still have a merchant navy. Because Switzerland doesn't do anything halfway. So there you have it. Flags that fell from the sky. Flags designed by teenagers. Flags with guns. Flags that are perfectly square. And flags that change because of Facebook. These aren't just pieces of fabric. They're living symbols of culture, history, and identity. And sometimes, they're just really, really weird. The world is full of these bizarre stories, from Nepal's triangles to Libya's green rectangle to Denmark's heavenly banner. Every flag has a tale to tell. Some are proud, some are controversial, and some are just plain strange. But that's what makes them fascinating. If you loved these bizarre flag stories, there's plenty more where that came from. Hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the weird side of geography and history, and drop a comment with the strangest flag you've ever seen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.